Hey, so everyone, I'm Lisa Doyle with Rockcliff Realtors here in, of course, the East Bay, and I wanted to introduce some great partners with you guys all. So Rockcliff has some super exciting news. We are in the midst of a collaboration with a powerful, wonderful South Bay company called the Sereno Group, and I have the founders of the Sereno Group here joining me to share all the great things about the company and what we're so excited about with how it's going to impact our ability to serve our clients at a higher level. And really, just do a better job with growth and expansion and wonderful service. So thanks, guys, for joining me.
Thank you, Lisa.
Yeah, thank you so much. So we have Chris and Ryan, and I'm always so last names. I'm going to have you each pronounce your full last name just so I make sure I don't get it wrong.
Smart. It's smart.
Yeah. So Ryan, so share with us your full name. So with the group.
My full name, my last name's Iwanaga. So
yeah.
Japanese, yeah.
I knew I would get that right. And Chris, you have a unique name as well. So make sure I get it right.
Chris Trapani.
Trapani, there we go. So thanks so much, guys, for joining us. So what I wanted to share with all of our clients and just people that we know here in the East Bay, there's been a lot of kind of enthusiasm and excitement about the merger that we're just now undergoing with you guys. And you guys have been in business in the South Bay for a long time, which what I've loved always about the South Bay is we collaborate with agents over there all the time anyway. And now it's just going to be at a higher level. So, so tell us a little bit about Sereno Group, and what our clients might want to know about you guys and, how it's going to help us to serve them better.
Lisa, thank you so much. And thanks for making us feel right at home and special and included in your discussion today with your clients in the community. And as you said, the East Bay and the South Bay really, although the Bay Area sometimes seems large, it's really made up of a lot of small communities and villages and towns. And, despite all the technology, which is great, I know that this goes for the Doyle team and Rockcliff and Sereno Group as well. We don't lose sight or take for granted the fact that the amazing service that quality real estate people provide to their clients and how they are just really connected to the community in a lot of meaningful ways. We really embrace that.
Yeah. And
so to us, this partnership is very much a natural because it gives us all an opportunity to work together in a way to collaborate to raise the level of service that we do provide to our clients and actually even raise our level of awareness and giving in our communities.
Yeah, exactly. One of the things that I've loved about your company, which we've always had a fond regard for you guys, we've worked with your agents all the time, back and forth, clients coming back and forth, is you guys are an independent, like we've always been, independent. I think that gives us the ability to serve. We've always been grateful for that because we can be a lot more innovative. We can be a lot more about the client and not so much about corporate rules and, nothing to shame for anyone, the corporations, but we've always loved being a part of an independent company. So we're grateful that you guys are the same way, that you've grown a business like that.
I mean, for us, the fact of independence and being an independent brokerage, it's important because I think really the value of real estate is the ability for the brokers to be hyper local, right? And I think it's difficult to understand how the nuances of each particular marketplace, if decisions are being made by people,
right.
5 levels removed in a corporate office someplace in another state. I think the value of real estate has always been the local community.
Yeah.
And agents selling and living within those communities and the brokers as well, because running a business, especially running a brokerage, it's important for, I think, the people in charge to kind of understand the cultural nuances and the importance of those communities. Certainly the great thing that we've discovered obviously is that and we've always known this, but there's a proof of life once you start to get to know the markets and the people, is that there's definitely a a simpatico between the East Bay and the South Bay, and culturally, the community cultures and everything. But there's also a lot of difference, and it depends upon that local culture. And so, oftentimes decisions are made with those local communities in mind,
Yeah.
and understanding what those things are very, very important in the end goal of just trying to support our clients and the communities as much as possible.
Yeah, exactly. I've always felt that way too.
Yeah, if I can add to that too, I think there's wonderful agents in every company,
Yeah.
and we've got a lot of regard for many of those quality people. But I think at the end of the day, each firm does have a different priority aim, and that really, I think, for a certain type of agent that has that sensibility, it's really important for them for the long run to be associated with a firm that is philosophically aligned with them. And the way I like to think about it, it's really more it's a spirit of service and giving versus a taking, and I'm talking from the top. And so just from a sheer standpoint of revenues from a business, our belief is 100% of those revenues should remain in the communities where they're generated in many, many ways. Not just in giving, but just in the whole supporting the local community. And so, whereas some other companies that might not have that independence, there's a big chunk of that gets shipped out and goes away somewhere else, either to, to another state, as Ryan said, or venture capitalists or whatever. And so we really, because again, we believe so wholeheartedly in what like the Doyle team provides to their clients. I mean, it's very difficult to describe what a quality realtor actually does for their clients, because they do everything. And there's such a personal aspect to that, which is why, again, despite all the technology, scaling the personalization required for each real estate transaction has not been feasible. And that's why people like your team continues to thrive and become even more integral to your clients' experiences.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we've been in business here for 34 years, and for us, it's just, which is what I love about the merger with you guys and the collaboration, because we're so much focused on the care and the well-being of the people who live in our community and our town. And it's like serving the community, even if people don't ever move or they never want to go anywhere. We're just here to to contribute and help. So we hope that that's, we know that you guys come from that same mindset, which I love that. And so I know that there's a part of your company that all of us are so excited about. So we've always been great givers. We volunteer. We love to, just give back. We love to share and contribute. But you guys have an organization or a part of your company where, and it's called the 1% for good, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, 1% for good. And so tell our clients a little bit about that, because I'm super excited about that.
We can both actually talk about it. It's actually really important. It's actually, I think I speak for Chris as well, it's actually become one of the most important components of our business, of our company, say. Yeah. And also the thing I think that as owners, as co-founders, we're sort of most proud of, because it is impacting the community. But essentially, and Chris could probably articulate it a little bit better, but essentially each office actually designates 1%, 1% of the gross profits towards basically the 1% for Good program. And it's voluntary. Agents can choose whether to participate in it or not. We don't track it. We don't know who does, who doesn't. The important thing is that we are generating funds and that go into our 1% for Good foundation. And essentially what we do with those funds is they go directly to support local community-minded organizations. The unique thing about, I think, the way that we've created the program is that each office has their own 1% for Good committee. Mm-hmm. And those committees are autonomous, and they could actually choose, they source out, they find the local organizations that they want to support. And essentially there's a direct impact in that local marketplace. And so instead of going to like a national or a bigger organization, oftentimes we're supporting, those funds are going to support smaller community organizations that might not have the ability to kind of have the same voice or the exposure to the same source of funds that these national or larger charities and organizations might have available to them. So it just makes it nice because we feel like we're really intimately involved with supporting the community.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the great thing about having the agents run and sort of have be empowered to do those things is it makes them take ownership of the process as well, and become invested in kind of the outcome. So it's been very nice that way.
Well, it's wonderful. It's, 1% doesn't sound like a huge amount, but you guys have donated millions of dollars, right? To your,
Yeah.
I mean, that's just a wonderful, for a company that's not, you guys aren't huge, it's
Yeah.
there's not thousands of agents donating. You're giving a lot, which is.
Yeah. If I can, thank you for that enthusiasm. If I can add to that,
Yeah.
it's 1% of gross revenues, which is important. We also match those dollars based upon our share of the split with our agents, which there's a lot of great real estate firms that do a lot of giving, and certainly a lot of agents that do, but I don't know of anyone where there's matching going on based upon the split that's happening. So that really lets our people know that we're in this with them.
Mm-hmm.
But just to rewind the tape a little bit, when Ryan and I sort of burned the boats and resigned from our old company, there was kind of this was in 2006, and kind of the concept of being a socially responsible business was kind of a new thing. At least I had not really heard of that. Now I think it's become much more mainstream, which is wonderful.
Yeah.
15 years later, but we didn't really know what that meant. And so, early on, we were fortunate to come across Yvonne Chenard, who's the founder of Patagonia, the climbing and outdoor equipment company. And we read his book, Let My People Go Surfing. And in fact, we've bought copies for all of our new family members at Rockcliff. Most everyone at Sereno Group has read the book. And really, what Yvonne's story in Patagonia is about is you can have a for-profit business, employ people, and do good things and not lose your soul.
Yeah.
And so when we read that, that really spoke to us. And so as an extension of that, Patagonia and Yvonne was involved in starting 1% for the planet. And although that was specifically for environmental causes, which are very important, what really struck us was that it was 1% of gross revenues for Patagonia. It didn't matter if they made any money or not. And that's the same for Sereno Group. And what we'll be bringing to Rockcliff is it's 1% of gross regardless. We're making that pledge and putting that forward. And so, as Ryan said, what we decided was the 1% for the planet was, again, didn't allow for the diversity of and flexibility for our agents to identify in each of their local market areas some of the neediest and really most impactful organizations throughout the Bay Area. Our first check in the program was $5,000, the very first check. I just saw the numbers for 2019, and we gave almost $900,000 in 2019 alone.
Wow.
Which I love what you said is, that sounds like so much giving, particularly for sort of a medium-sized business.
Yeah.
But what our people realize, and that we've shared with them, is none of our people individually miss the dollars that they give.
Yeah.
It has not changed any of the agents' lives in terms of what they've given to the program, because a little bit of giving from a lot of people adds up to this huge amount.
Yeah.
But yet we're having massive impact. Some of these checks that are $10, $15, $20, $30,000 or more to one group, it's the largest single check they've ever received. And when we go through that process of where the agents have selected the groups and they come in at the end of the quarter at our office meetings, and those checks, they don't even know how much it's going to be. We sort of just give it to them and then they open it.
Yeah.
And so oftentimes there's like a gasp of, they're just completely blown away. And we're once again reminded that, you know, sure, we're in a business and it's a for-profit business, but we want to use the business to do good.
Yeah.
We
Exactly.
really want to use the business to do good.
Yeah, exactly. And for us, you know, Greg and I have always been so, what you might say, hopelessly loyal, right? We've worked with Jeff Sposito for 23 years. And, you know, we're the kind of people, we stay with our company because he's been good to us. And there's just so much in our industry that, that lacks loyalty, I guess, if I can say that in a fairness. And I love that you guys are, you know, you're giving to the community because you're loyal to the community, and the agents feel very loyal to you for everything that you guys are, you know, your culture as a group is pretty remarkable. So we're excited to, you know, become a part of your great culture and continue to make J. Rockcliff better, you know, in our area. So.
Well, the truth is you all have already been carrying that torch and representing that spirit. And that's kind of what we figured out, is the spirit that we're talking about actually already exists in like-minded people.
Yeah.
It's just that's why this coming together between J. Rockcliff and Sereno Group is just so powerful, because we're basically expanding that philosophy. We're strengthening that base. We're amplifying that voice and that goodness. And that crosses over into professional responsibility and social responsibility. It's both. And that's really, really important for our industry and profession, that there are people that are striving for that every day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and if I could just mention that, you know, you had mentioned that you had been working within the community for 34 years, and I mean, I would venture to say that if you were a standalone company, you'd be one of the most established, long-lasting companies in the East Bay, right? And that really says something. And I think that, you know, both Chris and I are multi-generational Santa Clara County families. And there's a part of Sereno Group's DNA that comes from the history of the communities, right? That actually I think the greatness of where we live, it was based upon past generations kind of ownership of their responsibility within those communities. And I think that's kind of like, I think everybody in the Bay Area who has been here for some length of time kind of shares that same belief, that regardless of how, you know, technologically forward we are and how big it's become, there's still that core essence of kind of the history of the valley. And there's enough people that really believe in the importance of community, and especially as business owners, the responsibility that we share to kind of be to participate, but also to be good citizens, right? And as responsible citizens within the communities, and making sure that we're doing our part, just like our parents, just like our grandparents in past generations. Everybody was trying to build community for community's sake. And you know, that really struck me when you said you guys had been working for 34 years. I mean, you know, that's like, I mean, you've had a part in building the East Bay to what it is. And it says a lot about kind of your loyalty to the community, like you mentioned, you know, and that's important. So
thank you. And I appreciate that. And I think there are a lot of agents in our area who are going to be excited about joining a company where they're becoming a part of something. So I'm excited about this getting out to just our fellow realtors who might be, you know, either joining the business, you know, initially and looking for a wonderful company to grow and become a part of something that's better than just themselves. So pretty cool.
Right. That's great. And, you know, I mean, look, we're also in business to ensure the long-term success and livelihood of the independent realtor for the reasons we've already, you know, mentioned, because the quality realtor provides such an important part of the fabric of a community. And I recognize that now today, 30 years in the business, more than I ever have. And so, you know, what we need to do our part, because we don't want to see that kind of get upended or go away. Because if that gets upended or goes away because of an app or because of venture capital or whatever, then at the end of the day, the client actually loses. The customer loses in the community. I'm not even talking about the real estate agent. The client and the customer loses if it becomes an application, because what it takes for a quality realtor to provide what they do for their clients right now is so unique that we just, do not want to foresee a future where that's watered down to a point where now the client service is minimized.
Right.
That's not in the best interest of the customer and not in the community. And that's why, again, amplifying this voice and joining forces just strengthens us as the independents so much more. And I really hope, as you said, that whether agents join us or not, of course, we hope that many like-minded ones do, we're here to just move the needle for good. If we can make a positive impact and influence someone else to maybe adopt a 1% for good, or to, help, again, elevate professional stand, whatever the things are that we do and can contribute, that's really what we're here to do.
Yeah, very good. Well, thank you so much, you two, for joining me. I'm so excited to announce the official collaboration with the Sereno Group. And, Rockcliff, all of us are excited about it. And I so appreciate you guys. I can't wait to see you at a meeting. Maybe one day we could all, kind of the Zoom thing, we can get together.
For sure.
Yeah.
Someday.
Yeah. Take care, guys. Thanks so much
All right.
again.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you,
See you
Lisa.
soon.
Take care.
Bye.
Okay.